Hello everyone, it is Sammy. If you are new here, welcome to my channel, and if you are returning, thank you for coming back for another stitch with me today. I am continuing to work on the drive-through dragon. That light's a little bit bright there. Let's see. There we go. I've been working on it a little bit. I did 96 stitches this morning. That was before I went into work this morning. Let me tone down the brightness a little bit. There we go. I'm kind of adjusting my settings here. Keep that like that. And there we go. Okay. Yeah, it was just a little glare there that shouldn't have been there. Okay, so yeah, I'm still working on this. I did about 98 stitches this morning, which was in here, but the last couple of days I have completely filled this out here, and I was quite happy with that. I think I did like 1,400 stitches on Sunday or something like that. I got a lot done this weekend. So I have threads for like 3 different projects over here on my desk, so I had to just pull the threads for this one. Okay. So I did return to work on Monday, which I was really happy about, and my supervisor was very nice and asked how I was doing and didn't push me on whether I would be able to go full speed. And luckily I was able to hit full speed. I am going to, whoa. Okay. I just found out that this was 2 different threads. Okay, apparently I had put these all together. Let me put this one back. Yeah, so I was able to go back to full speed. I just literally picked up as if I hadn't even been out of work for a month. Which surprised me, but also at the same time I was really happy about that. Oh, I have completely put a knot in this right before the loop too. I wonder if I can. No, it looks like I pulled that tight. I'm gonna have to snip that. Darn it. So, and I came back to my annual review because all of the annual reviews were done while I was out. So I got a really good annual review, but as usual, the company limited all raises to a pretty low percentage. But I am thankful for the job that I have, because it does give me a ton of flexibility. You know, I've been work at home for like 9 years now, full-time work at home, and the company pays for the internet for me to work at home. You know, I have my own internet line, so I'm not using company internet for this. So yeah, I have a lot of perks with my job, let's say, so yeah, I can't be too upset about, you know, getting a 2% raise, a COLA raise, because I wouldn't be able to find a job like it. Not where I'm at. And I like what I do. It's something that I can do. I can do easily. I'm pretty good with computers, so you know, the fact that I can do this job and I can do it pretty well is a good thing. Yeah, I think everybody's getting pretty low raises this year. There's a ton of layoffs going on. I know I'm not getting political. It's just all you have to do is look at the news. There's been layoffs going on for months. Video game industry, and Joann's is shutting down. I was really, really sad to hear that, because Hobby Lobby doesn't have anywhere near the amount of fabric that Joann's does. And so when I saw that Joann's was filing for bankruptcy again, and I'm like, okay, here we go again. And this time they were bought by a liquidator. Nobody else would touch them. So that just sucks, because they're now saying that they're going to shut down and liquidate all 800 stores across the U.S. It was like, oh my Lord. All of those people about to lose their jobs, and all of us people that work with needlecraft, sewing, we're going to lose yet one more store that we can go get stuff from. No, I don't do any clothes making or crafts like that that requires a sewing machine. I have a sewing machine. I can use a sewing machine. I just don't have any hobbies towards that. So nothing that I do like cross stitch anyways, that I do consistently. I have made clothes before. I don't think I have any of those patterns anymore. But I have made clothes before, and I can do so again. I can follow a pattern if need be, but just losing the store. It's heartbreaking. But you know, even with some of their honestly ridiculous sales to try to get people in the door, they just weren't making the money. And they, oh, I don't want to go in there. I want to go down here. They are a business after all. So I'm going to try to get these last two in here. Yeah, I know, I'm going opposite of what I usually do. Let's see. I don't think I will have enough to be able to fully pin stitch it, because I don't think I can turn the needle around. Yeah, but what I'll do is I'll put the eye back through, if I can. Yeah, I just don't have Oh, you know what? It just, yeah, I've got it like a teeny tiny little thread there. I'll just have to leave it like that and go over the back, and then once I go over the back, I can clip it off. So I'm starting to try to work my way this way is what I'm doing. I've got a lot of the front head of the, like this is the eye ridge of the dragon, and then this right here is like the top of the mouth, top of the jaw. I've got literally one stitch, and then it goes down into the next page. Yeah. I've had a number of confetti around here. It hasn't been too bad, but sometimes it just gets annoying. Like this, I have this really long piece of floss for one stitch. I'm gonna do the make a loop method to lock it in place. If I'm doing more than one stitch, typically just doing the stitches will lock them in place. But I have found, since I have pulled stitches out this last weekend, trying to just do one stitch that way, that I have to do this make a loop method and lock it in place. The problem is that this make a loop method works best with one strand and not two. It's getting that knot. That knot's not going to go back down. So I'm going to have that little knot right there. I pulled it as tight as I can. I'll start ripping the fabric if I pull any harder. I'm gonna run it under the stitches on the back and then cut it off. Looks like that's one of the few ninja stitches, thankfully. 645. Whoa. So, we'll do those 169. I have a needle there too. I haven't actually prepared any needles since I was stitching this weekend. So if I have a needle there, it's because I had used it before and then didn't use up the entire strand. Okay, so I'm gonna just, I'm kind of got my finger on the back so that I can manage to not pull that all the way through. And then I'll just finish the stitches normal. And then continue. See, by this one, I mean, if I pull it too hard, yeah, I'm going to pull it through. I pulled it down so that it doesn't come through the hole. But after this second stitch, when I go to this third one, it's taut, it's caught. I don't have to worry about them coming out. I think what I'm going to do, since I have such a small amount of thread on this needle, is rather than cut it off, I'm just going to work down into the next page below. will call that my feathering. Whoa, I went over 2 stitches on that one. Try that again. There we go. Alright. So I've got that one. Let's go over here. Maybe I should have cut it off. Because this isn't exactly just a couple of stitches. Oh, alright, yeah, so we'll have plenty to work down here. It won't be the first time that I have just continued down into the page below without even blinking an eye. I did that over here. It was just like I just continued stitching and then I was like, oh wait, I'm already into the next page. Just gonna finish out this thread. Oh, I'm one too high on that one. Yeah, and you can't even see what I'm doing right now because I'm so far down. Give me just a moment here. I'm almost to the point where I can just pin it off. Yeah, as long as I don't pull the needle right off the floss. Alright, let's pin this off. Okay, so I did those and those and those. Okay. So, oh, that one's gonna be a big one. That one I don't have a needle for. Come on. So it's my husband's birthday, the day that I'm recording this. And, you know, I go into work early. So I was actually up at 3 a.m. this morning. And I can't go into work before 4. So that's where I did some cross stitch this morning. And then I went into work. But after I got off work at like 1 o'clock, so I had some time to make up from yesterday. We went out to lunch for his birthday. So it was a good lunch. Although his official birthday dinner won't be until Saturday night or Saturday evening. Because I think that my dad and his girlfriend will want to come. But I don't know. We'll see. They're trying to get the fifth wheel ready to take it out. They usually spend quite a bit of time camping during this early part of the spring when it's nice and cool in the morning. And they go to the southern part of the state where it's a little bit warmer. So we'll see. Yeah, no winter camping for them. They are in their 80s after all. Oh, actually, my dad, I realized he's 78. But she is in her 80s and he's getting up there in age, so they definitely don't do any winter camping, that's for sure. And one of my coworkers that I had on my previous team, because I'm on a new team as of this year, May of last year actually, I had gotten a promotion last year, which I was really happy about. Still am. Okay, so I do just have one more here. They actually live full-time out of a fifth wheel. And she says she absolutely loves it. I don't think... I have thought about it. And I could possibly do it. But the problem is that with my work, I use multiple monitors for my work. And even though my work issues us laptops to work off of, I'll just leave that as a, what do you call it? Feathering. Yeah, so our company issues us laptops for work, but they also issue us a dock because they don't expect us to actually work from the 14-inch screen. So I don't think, my dad's fifth wheel isn't really big, but it isn't small either. No, it's a really decent sized fifth wheel. It's got enough room to seat 4 people at that table. A little tight, but you could seat 4 people at that table for dinner. And you could have 2 people in the bed, and the couch folds out into a bed, so you can comfortably although maybe not so comfortably when I get up at, an ungodly time in the morning compared to everybody else. But I don't think that I could actually work. If I had to work from that fifth wheel, I could do it. But, I use at least 2 monitors for work. I have 3. And, I also have my own desktop computer. So, it's not a small computer either, because I wanted the capability of power that only a full-size desktop can give you. So, space would get very tight in there, and my husband has the same. He has a computer and 2 monitors. And when I'm working, I am required to be able to shut the door and cover any windows, or at least not have the monitors accessible for view from windows. And that's just simply because we deal with private information. So, I would have to make a number of changes. And yeah, it would get really cramped in there really fast once you start adding all of those monitors and computers and everything. And then add on this, my cross stitch. There really wouldn't be any space. You know what? I'm gonna finish this block first. Looks like I've got just 2 stitches here. Okay. As I said, I could do it. It's not that I couldn't. I could do it. I could make it work. But the amount of space available in the fifth wheel would go down quite a bit. Okay, I pulled out a second needle when I pulled that out. It looks like it is 3862 that I pulled out. Okay, oh, whoa. There we go. I pulled on the floss and ended up pulling it right out, pulling 2 needles right out. Okay, so I'm way down here, like right on the edge of the what's in the camera. Oh, I hit the camera that time, sorry. Okay. All right. So got those 2 in. I'll just slide it under a couple of stitches here, or a number of stitches as the case may be. And I am planning on taking my cross stitch with me when we go camping, because Dad and his girlfriend and I, my husband and I obviously, we share that fifth wheel. And I don't have room for it at my house. And my dad has a couple of acres of land, so it stays at his house. But we take turns staying in it over the summer. And we'll go up to the pulled up my old ones. Okay. Oh, that was weird. I didn't realize my old setup was all caught up in these. And so we go up to one of the lakes in the summer. And believe me, it's not that much cooler. It's maybe 1,000 feet higher in elevation, but it's not that much cooler. You know, it'll be, 199 Fahrenheit at my house, and it may be 97 Fahrenheit up there. It is really, really warm. So, but we'll go up there and go fishing, go out onto the lake and just putz around on the lake, hopefully not get sunburnt. And like most of the lakes, you go to the marina, and it's like people feed the fish at the marina. Of course, there's no fishing at the marina, but there's always big carp and such that are around the marina. I think the last time we were there, the carp around the area where they have the fish food. So it's in one of those coin-operated machines. You put a quarter in, and you get a handful of fish food. It's mainly for the kids, Give them a handful of fish food, and they throw it in the water, and the fish come up and start eating it. There's a couple dozen fish that are always around there. At least in the morning, because we go over to the marina in the morning. And they'll come up and they'll eat, and there's some big carp in that lake around that marina. I think I saw a couple that were half a meter long. About almost 2 feet long. They were big. But we go to the marina typically in the morning when we've decided that we're going to go out for breakfast. And we'll go down to the marina when their cafe opens. And their cafe makes some good breakfast food, but what we really like is the homemade breakfast burritos. Yeah. With good red or green chili. I mean, we are in New Mexico after all. We have to have our hatch chili. And then we will typically go, maybe we'll go into town and go grocery shopping and go do something else. And then by noon, we will go back to the fifth wheel and just relax because it's so hot that even in the fifth wheel with the air conditioner going full blast, you're still sweating. So it's time to just, take a nap and wait until the sun starts to go down. And then you can open up the fifth wheel and start dinner and hopefully not make it so dang hot. I made a mistake one time. It was 4 of us up there. Because we go up during my birthday week in July. And we always invite our best friend if he wants to go with us. One year he brought his own tent, and we had the fifth wheel at a campground, and I had planned out like menus for the day, and one of the things that they wanted when we were planning everything out ahead of time was they wanted pizza rolls. But they wanted homemade pizza rolls, which I had made, I don't know, like 6 months before, as a test. And everybody loved them, so they wanted a homemade pizza roll. And we found out very, very quickly that in the heat of summer, the last thing that you want to do in a fifth wheel is turn on the oven. Because you cannot get away from that heat. That fifth wheel didn't cool down, I swear, until about 11 o'clock that night. We had the doors open, we had the windows open. Yeah, I swear, it did not cool down until well after dark. Because at that time, wow, this just does not want to pull. I got the loop that just does not want to pull. Sorry, I'm trying to kind of pull on the floss that's still on the card to try to pull this loop off. Wow. Finally got it, but sometimes I wonder why it does that. It's like the loop ends up being wrapped around a whole bunch of other threads. I don't know. Yeah, so anyways, we learned our lesson. And if we're going to use the oven, we use it very sparingly now. Or we use it when we know it's going to be colder. Like the forecast is saying that we're going to have a monsoon rain come through, which we know will automatically drop the temperatures. Then we'll go ahead and use it when it's raining, because then it won't get as hot, and that will help cool things down. But for the most part, we just do sandwiches, and we'll cook on the stove. It's a propane stove, but there's no grills up there, because we're during the middle of the summer, we're actually in a private campground. It's not a state or national park. It's a private campground. And if you hear my son in the background, I am sorry. He's playing with a friend after he got done with his college classes today. And I even told him that I was going to be recording this time. And that you could hear him in the background on a different video. And he was like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, well, it's okay. You know, at that time I didn't tell him I was recording. This time I have. But I just heard him, so you might hear him. Sometimes this mic will pick up things that even I don't hear. Okay. So I'm hoping to get another 500 total stitches done. I think I did 490 or something yesterday. And I'm hoping to get that done again today before I fall asleep. Because, you know, how it is. You eat and you get sleepy. And it doesn't help that I've been up since 3, so I've been up officially 15 hours now. Where was I? I have no idea. And this one is saying it wasn't supposed to be purple. Yeah, that one was supposed to be gray, huh? Wonder how that happened. Let's back out here. Yeah, see, I've got purple in here. Did I get the colors mixed up? Oh, boy. Okay, well. Unless it's a really major mistake, I don't like frogging stitches. Because you almost always have to cut them out. Because even if you successfully frog them all, you can't really use that floss again because it gets all fuzzy. So you might as well cut them out anyways. I mean, I have. Don't get me wrong, I have done that and then restitched with the fuzzy floss when it's only a couple of stitches. But I don't like doing it. Because then you also get that fuzz on the fabric itself that you can't seem to get rid of. Not easily anyways. And there's many times that I feel like some of these minor errors just give it character. You know, it's like your own personal character by, oop, I hit the camera, sorry. Your own personal character by having those flaws in it. You know, if you want perfection, go buy something machine made at Walmart or Amazon or Temu or wherever you shop. The thing about something being handmade is that it will have imperfections. And those imperfections may be detrimental and make it look odd. Like if they did an entire piece with the wrong color. Or it could just give it character. I'm trying to decide which way I want to go. I think I'll go over here. I'll just follow this set of blocks down. No, I am one column off. I put this one. Oh, and it's not gonna back out. Okay, I have to frog it. See, now I'm gonna have this issue where I can't get under the full stitch. Let's see. I can get under one of the two strands, but I can't seem to get under that second one. There we go. Oh, see, and now it's gone all fuzzy because I'm getting not the full thing. So now I got like half of the bottom strand, not the full one. So now it's going to go all fuzzy on me. It's another reason why I like the number 28 needles, is because they have a little bit of a sharper point. And yes, they make piercing the fabric easier, piercing the other floss easier, but they can also make getting under the floss against the fabric a little bit easier if you have to frog it. That's been my limited experience anyways. Alright. And then we'll go right there. I'm gonna go up one. Because now that should lock in that purple tail there. So I should be able to clip that off now. That's not what I meant. I didn't mean to grab it with the floss. Come on. Here we go. Yeah, see this. I don't know. I don't know whether I want to pull that purple out or not. This is part of the dragon. Okay, so I've got 7, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, yeah, I did those 2 up there too. No, mark. And then I guess we're going this way. Six. Just trying to go in the direction that makes the most sense at that moment, so that I'm not crisscrossing across the fabric as much as possible. In my mind, that's just a waste of thread. Probably doesn't make a difference in the long run, but in my mind, that's just a waste of thread. Okay. Mark those off. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clip that. It's now getting in my way. Two. And 2 here. And then 1 upper diagonal. I think I'll leave those other 2 for the next column. I think I have run out of things to say. Come to think of it, I'm not even really sure what to talk about at the moment. Oh, these go up. Okay, continue going up. And still up further. Oh, there goes our dog. He's barking down the hallway. So, yeah, we have in this little area here, like in a 2-3 block area, we have multiple roads all with the same name, but like road, loop, court, lane, and I happen to live on one of those roads. And I usually only have the problem with UPS, but this time I had it with FedEx, and it was really, really frustrating because I have my medication shipped to me every month for my MS. And this time, FedEx delivered it to the wrong address. Like, I am on a road in a house, and they delivered it to Loop at an apartment. And I can confirm that it was shipped to my address, and there was no apartment number on it. So, yeah, I put in a claim with FedEx, and then I called the pharmacy, and they put in a claim with FedEx. And they have been told that they are trying to find it, and I'm like, you might not be able to. It's not narcotics. It's nothing that's going to get you high. But I have no idea what kind of medication is sold on the black market these days. Like I ever did. I never knew what was sold on the black market. Except, you know, the mythical prescription drugs that are sold on the black market, you know, that the news tells you about. And I know they are, but, you know, I'm totally reliant on the news for stuff like that. But, you know, so I suspect that medication is not going to show back up. And this isn't the first time that I have had medication go missing. And that's why I said I usually had it happen with UPS. And luckily this time, for this year, it's probably the first year in many years, that my medication that I take for my MS does not cost the insurance company several $1,000s a month. They finally switched my drug that I'm currently on over to a generic. And with that generic, it now costs less than $10 a month. Which, let me tell you, I am absolutely ecstatic about. Because that's my cost. And right now, because there's no prior authorization for that medication, the insurance isn't paying anything on it. So that's the full cost of the medication. about $10. And oh, I was so happy. Because last year, that particular medication was getting billed to the insurance for $6,000 a month. And the insurance was paying it. No, I'll just pin it off. So, for it to go from like $6,000 a month to $10, and that's because it went from brand name to generic, is just absolutely amazing. And before that, the medication I was on before that I had to be taken off of because my immune count went too low and I started becoming at risk for major complications like brain infections. That one was over $8,000 a month. And that one is the one that UPS lost. Not once, not twice, 3 times. And each time, it was just gone. These drugs won't get people high. Not in the slightest. In fact, that particular drug, if you took it, would make you so sick. I had to take it with food. And there were other people that had to take it without food. Because its major complication was stomach upset. Bad stomach upset. And I went from fasting 16 hours a day to not being able to fast really much at all because I had to take that pill twice a day. And if I had it on an empty stomach, i.e. while fasting, I would be so nauseous the whole rest of the day that I couldn't keep anything down. It was bad. And I kind of found a hack to that by reading up on the medications, saying that you have to have 8 hours between doses. So that's what I did. I would extend my fast, and then I would take the first dose at lunch, at my breakfast when I broke my fast. I would have just enough carbs and protein so that I wouldn't get major side effects, and take that pill. And then I would wait several hours after I'd had my lunch, and 8 hours later, I would be able to take my second pill. And so that would be my dinner. So I had to have it at the start of my feeding schedule and at the end of my feeding schedule. And I'd have a snack in between, but that's how I had to do it. So when I moved off of that, let me tell you, I was not happy to move off of it because my symptoms were under control. As I said, I haven't actually had a flare-up of my MS since I was diagnosed. It was under control, and that was one of 3 oral medications that I could take. And that one had the least amount of side effects. And since I had had issues with the injectable medication a couple of years prior, I was trying to stay off the injectable medications as long as I possibly could. So I had to move to the one that I'm on now, which I had initially not wanted to get on for a very, I guess you could say, prideful reason. Because in the end, it really doesn't matter, but I was scared at the time when I was first going over them, because this medication, people will experience hair loss on. And we're not talking, a lot of hair loss. We're not talking chemotherapy levels of hair loss. But when I've had hair at my time down past my butt, really long hair to me, and I really like having long hair. It's not quite so long anymore. I had to cut it. It was just getting too badly damaged. But I had to go on to this medication. And even though the incidence of this side effect was only 10%, I seem to get the more severe the mild side effects, essentially, I have for every medication so far. And I did get some hair loss. Luckily, it wasn't bad. But I could tell that my hair was starting to thin out. And I was really disappointed about it, but my health comes first, and keeping the MS under control comes first. And my hair is now bouncing back, but I'm having to use a good amount of conditioners on it because it tends to break easier. And that may be due to changes with age, too. Because I am pretty sure that I am starting that perimenopause cycle. I can't prove it yet, but I am pretty sure. Alright, so I'm going to get a couple more stitches in with this color here. I'm going to try to finish out this color, and then I'm going to have to take a break because my back is telling me you have been sitting here looking at this cross stitch for far too long. And you need to get up and move around. So I am not going to make 500 stitches today. Actually, no, I don't think that one is the one I wanted to be in. Actually, yeah, that one was, okay. I thought I'd already done that one for some reason. All of these very similar colors can make it seem like it's, you've already done a stitch when you haven't. Okay, I'm not going to bother this off. Let me see if I can catch it under some stitches. There we go. Oh, too far. I like got it and then I pulled it through stitches and then started to go under a whole other set. I don't need that. There we go. Alright. So, I didn't get those. Yeah, I didn't get those down there. So I think it was just those right there. Yep. So 299 today, that's pretty good. So I did about 200 on the recording. So I hope you enjoyed stitching with me today. Positive energies to those who need it, healing energies to those who need it, and happy stitching.